A fan favorite with a priceless smile, former UT women's basketball star Imani McGee Stafford has quite a story, and she is always available to share her journey whenever she returns to her second home, Austin.
You just returned from Beijing, where you play overseas concurrently with the WNBA. How is that career going where you're bouncing back and forth from overseas back to the States in the WNBA?
I think it's amazing. I'm blessed to be able to play basketball for a living. I get to travel the world. I'm 23, and I just finished visiting 3 countries playing sports, so it's definitely the most fun I've had ever, and I get paid to play basketball now, so I can't complain.
No complaints from a young woman who has experienced more in her short 23 years than most will experience in a lifetime.
Second, Boyette at the buzzer. Good!
We all know Imani by her stardom on the basketball court, but reaching the top level of women's basketball required self-evaluation and personal changes.
What is the biggest message you have for student athletes who have those pro aspirations? What did you learn that you weren't prepared for, which you can relay a message to prepare these younger ladies?
Take advantage of all the opportunities you have and work hard. I don't think I worked hard in college. I was a little brat, so I didn't learn the work ethic needed to succeed at this level until I got to the pros. So I could have been a much better athlete and done way better had I had the work ethic I have now when I was in college.
Did you tell Coach Ashton this?
I know, and she looked at me and was like, "I told you so."
She absolutely was a brat. There's no question about it. You know, Imani taught me as much as I taught her, but Imani taught me a lot about perseverance and how to have patience with a young person and let them grow up and grow into who they need to be.
So it is true, coaches later in life, some sooner than later, the messages they tell us, they do come back and you're like, wow, I know what he or she meant.
Definitely. Just the little things she used to harp on me about that I thought were insignificant and annoying, they made such a difference in terms of me translating to the league quickly and being able to kind of fit right in.
What many are not aware of is the fact that Imani has witnessed and experienced a life of trials and tribulations. From sexual molestation and abuse as a child to severe depression and a divorce.
My goal in sharing my story is that hopefully that
Imani's therapy was through basketball and through poetry.
it takes a special kind of woman to walk away, to restart, to build herself from the ground up again.
This is video of Imani reciting poems from her book, Notes in the Key of Heartbreak, a collection of her poems which are from Imani's real-life experiences expressed through transparency and vulnerability.
Take solace in knowing that after destruction, the sun will still rise.
You've really laid the foundation for young ladies who may have experienced what you did. What is your take on equality for women and moving forward, and what role you play for young ladies?
I think it starts with being a strong woman yourself. It's hard to ask a man who didn't grow up in the household with a strong woman to understand what it means and the importance of it. So the more that we raise our young girls to have self-esteem and know that they can accomplish anything they put their minds to, the more we raise strong women and the more normal it is to see it.
A strong young woman who has conquered her past and confronts the future by inspiring others with her powerful story.
It's so much bigger than me, and it's hopefully propelling other people to share just a little 5% more of them, because you never know who needs to hear what you're going through because they're going through the same thing.
A story which includes another strong woman in her mother and a brother who is a world champion.
For the Warriors, but people never understood that. JaVale.
The Golden State Warriors' JaVale McGee, who recently became a back-to-back world champion. Imani commented on her experience with her brother when he won his first NBA title a year ago.
What is it like to have a world champion in your family?
Amazing. I was there at Game 5, and I got to watch my brother get his ring and see him cry like a big baby. And it was just the most beautiful experience, especially because he's had the highs and the lows of his career. He's definitely seen the top and the bottom. So to see him finally get that kind of, I'm one of the tiny people that could say they're a world champion, was awesome and really beautiful.
Have you seen the rings, if you were to describe the weight of those rings? Because, rings are obnoxious nowadays.
Yes, really ridiculous. He has a picture of my niece holding the ring, who's a little baby 1-year-old, and it's almost the size of her whole hand.
Oh my gosh. Well, Imani, every time, these interviews never last long enough, but speaking of rings, we hope that you have a WNBA championship ring next time I see you, and then continue to inspire women. And then you've done a great job of that since I've known you.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love catching up with you.
Always. For Imani, Sean Clinch, KVU Sports.